The Book of Job, from the Ketuvim, English translation. Job, Chapter 10. I am disgusted with life. I will give rein to my complaint. Speak in the bitterness of my soul. I say to God, do not condemn me. Let me know what you charge me with. Does it benefit you to defraud, to despise the toil of your hands, while smiling on the counsel of the wicked? Do you have the eyes of flesh? Is your vision that of mere men? Are your days the days of a mortal? Are your years the years of a man, that you seek my iniquity and search out my sin? You know that I am not guilty, and that there is none to deliver from your hand. Your hands shaped and fashioned me, then destroyed every part of me. Consider that you fashioned me like clay. Will you then turn me back into dust? You poured me out like milk, congealed me like cheese. You clothed me with skin and flesh, and wove me of bones and sinews. You bestowed on me life and care. Your providence watched over my spirit. Yet these things you hid in your heart. I know that you had this in mind, to watch me when I sinned, and not clear me of my iniquity. Should I be guilty, the worse for me. And even when innocent, I cannot lift my head. So sated am I with shame, and drenched in my misery. It is something to be proud of, to hunt me like a lion, to show yourself wondrous through me time and again. You keep sending fresh witnesses against me, letting your vexation with me grow. I serve my term, and am my own replacement. Why did you let me come out of the womb? Better had I expired before any eye saw me. Had I been as though I never was. Had I been carried from the womb to the grave. My days are few, so desist. Leave me alone. Let me be diverted a while before I depart, never to return, for the land of deepest gloom, a land whose light is darkness, all gloom and disarray, whose light is like darkness. (11) Then Zophar the Naamathite said in reply, is a multitude of words unanswerable? Must a loquacious person be right? Your prattle may silence men. You may mock without being rebuked, and say, my doctrine is pure, and I have been innocent in your sight. But would that God might speak, and talk to you himself. He would tell you the secrets of wisdom, for there are many sides to sagacity. And know that God has overlooked for you some of your iniquity. Would you discover the mystery of God? Would you discover the limit of the Almighty? Higher than heaven, what can you do? Deeper than Sheol, what can you know? Its measure is longer than earth, and broader than the sea. Should he pass by, or confine, or call an assembly, who can stop him? For he knows deceitful men. When he sees iniquity, does he not discern it? A hollow man will get understanding. When a wild ass is born a man. But if you direct your mind and spread forth your hands toward him, if there is iniquity with you, remove it. And do not let injustice reside in your tent. Then, free of blemish, you will hold your head high, and, when in straits, be unafraid. You will then put your misery out of mind. Consider it as water that has flowed past. Life will be brighter than noon. You will shine. You will be like the morning. You will be secure, for there is hope. And, entrenched, you will rest secure. You will lie down undisturbed. The great will court your favor. But the eyes of the wicked pine away. Escape is cut off from them. They have only their last breath to look forward to. Then Job said in reply, Indeed, you are the voice of the people, and wisdom will die with you. But I, like you, have a mind, and am not less than you. Who does not know such things? I have become a laughingstock to my friend, one who calls to God and is answered, blamelessly innocent, a laughingstock. In the thought of the complacent there is contempt for calamity. It is ready for those whose foot slips. Robbers live untroubled in their tents, and those who provoke God are secure, those whom God's hands have produced. But ask the beasts, and they will teach you. The birds of the sky, they will tell you. Or speak to the earth, it will teach you. The fish of the sea, they will inform you. Who among all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is every living soul, and the breath of all mankind. Truly, the ear tests arguments as the palate tastes foods. Is wisdom in the aged, and understanding in the long-lived? With him are wisdom and courage. His are counsel and understanding. Whatever he tears down cannot be rebuilt. Whomever he imprisons cannot be set free. When he holds back the waters, they dry up. When he lets them loose, they tear up the land. With him are strength and resourcefulness. Erring and causing to err are from him. He makes counselors go about naked and causes judges to go mad. He undoes the belts of kings and fastens loincloths on them. He makes priests go about naked and leads temple servants astray. He deprives trusty men of speech and takes away the reason of elders. He pours disgrace upon great men and loosens the belt of the mighty. He draws mysteries out of the darkness and brings obscurities to light. He exalts nations, then destroys them. He expands nations, then leads them away. He deranges the leaders of the people and makes them wander in a trackless waste. They grope without light in the darkness. He makes them wander as if drunk. "13. My eye has seen all this. My ear has heard and understood it. What you know, I know also. I am not less than you. Indeed, I would speak to the Almighty. I insist on arguing with God, but you invent lies. All of you are quacks. If you would only keep quiet, it would be considered wisdom on your part. Hear now my arguments. Listen to my pleading. Will you speak unjustly on God's behalf? Will you speak deceitfully for him? Will you be partial toward him? Will you plead God's cause? Will it go well when he examines you? Will you fool him as one fools men? He will surely reprove you. If in your heart you are partial toward him, his threat will terrify you, and his fear will seize you. Your briefs are empty platitudes. Your responses are unsubstantial. Keep quiet. I will have my say. Come what may upon me. How long? I will take my flesh in my teeth. I will take my life in my hands. He may well slay me. I may have no hope, yet I will argue my case before him. In this too is my salvation, that no impious man can come into his presence. Listen closely to my words, give ear to my discourse. See, now I have prepared a case. I know that I will win it. For who is it that would challenge me? I should then keep silent and expire. But two things do not do to me, so that I need not hide from you. Remove your hand from me, and let not your terror frighten me. Then summon me, and I will respond. Or I will speak, and you reply to me. How many are my iniquities and sins? Advise me of my transgression and sin. Why do you hide your face and treat me like an enemy? Will you harass a driven leaf? Will you pursue dried up straw? That you decree for me bitter things and make me answer for the iniquities of my youth? That you put my feet in the stocks and watch all my ways, hemming in my footsteps? Man wastes away like a rotten thing, like a garment eaten by moths. 14. Man born of woman is short-lived and sated with trouble. He blossoms like a flower and withers. He vanishes like a shadow and does not endure. Do you fix your gaze on such a one? Will you go to law with me? Who can produce a clean thing out of an unclean one? No one. His days are determined, You know the number of his months. You have set him limits that he cannot pass. Turn away from him, and he may be at ease, until, like a hireling, he finishes out his day. There is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will renew itself. Its shoots will not cease. If its roots are old in the earth, and its stump dies in the ground, at the scent of water it will bud and produce branches like a sapling. But mortals languish and die. A man expires. Where is he? The waters of the sea fail, and the river dries up and is parched. So man lies down, never to rise. He will awake only when the heavens are no more. Only then be aroused from his sleep. Oh, that you would hide me in Sheol, conceal me until your anger passes, set me a fixed time to attend to me. If a man dies, can he live again? All the time of my service I wait until my replacement comes. You would call, and I would answer you. You would set your heart on your handiwork. Then you would not count my steps or keep watch over my sin. My transgression would be sealed up in a pouch. You would coat over my iniquity. Mountains collapse and crumble. Rocks are dislodged from their place. Water wears away stone. Torrents wash away earth. So you destroy man's hope. You overpower him forever, and he perishes. You alter his visage and dispatch him. His sons attain honor, and he does not know it. They are humbled, and he is not aware of it. He feels only the pain of his flesh, and his spirit mourns in him. (15) Eliphaz, the Temanite, said in reply, Does a wise man answer with windy opinions, and fill his belly with the east wind? Should he argue with useless talk, with words that are of no worth? You subvert piety and restrain prayer to God. Your sinfulness dictates your speech, so you choose crafty language. Your own mouth condemns you, not I. Your lips testify against you. Were you the first man born? Were you created before the hills? Have you listened in on the counsel of God? Have you sole possession of wisdom? What do you know that we do not know, or understand that we do not? Among us are gray-haired old men, older by far than your father. Are God's consolations not enough for you, and his gentle words to you? How your heart has carried you away, how your eyes have failed you, that you could vent your anger on God and let such words out of your mouth. What is man that he can be cleared of guilt? One born of woman, that he be in the right. He puts no trust in his holy ones. The heavens are not guiltless in his sight. What then of one loathsome and foul? Man who drinks wrongdoing like water. I will hold forth, listen to me, what I have seen. I will declare that which wise men have transmitted from their fathers, and have not withheld. To whom alone the land was given, no stranger passing among them. The wicked man writhes in torment all his days. Few years are reserved for the ruthless. Frightening sounds fill his ears. When he is at ease, a robber falls upon him. He is never sure he will come back from the dark. A sword stares him in the face. He wanders about for bread. Where is it? He knows that the day of darkness has been readied for him. Troubles terrify him. Anxiety overpowers him. Like a king, expecting a siege, for he has raised his arm against God and played the hero against the Almighty. He runs at him defiantly. With his thickly bossed shield, his face is covered with fat and his loins with blubber. He dwells in cities doomed to ruin, in houses that shall not be lived in, that are destined to become heaps of rubble. He will not be rich. His wealth will not endure. His produce shall not bend to the earth. He will never get away from the darkness. Flames will sear his shoots. He will pass away by the breath of his mouth. He will not be trusted. He will be misled by falsehood, and falsehood will be his recompense. He will wither before his time. His boughs, never having flourished, he will drop his unripe grapes like a vine. He will shed his blossoms like an olive tree. For the company of the impious is desolate. Fire consumes the tents of the briber. For they have conceived mischief, given birth to evil, and their womb has produced deceit. XVI. Job said in reply, I have often heard such things. You are all mischievous comforters. Have windy words no limit? What afflicts you that you speak on? I would also talk like you. If you were in my place, I would barrage you with words. I would wag my head over you. I would encourage you with words. My moving lips would bring relief. If I speak, my pain will not be relieved. And if I do not, what have I lost? Now he has truly worn me out. You have destroyed my whole community. You have shriveled me. My gauntness serves as a witness and testifies against me. In his anger, he tears and persecutes me. He gnashes his teeth at me. My foe stabs me with his eyes. They open wide their mouths at me. Reviling me, they strike my cheeks. They inflame themselves against me. God hands me over to an evil man. Thrust me into the clutches of the wicked. I have been untroubled, and he broke me in pieces. He took me by the scruff and shattered me. He set me up as his target. His bowmen surrounded me. He pierced my kidneys. He showed no mercy. He spilled my bile onto the ground. He breached me. Breach after breach. He rushed at me like a warrior. I sewed sackcloth over my skin. I buried my glory in the dust. My face is red with weeping, darkness covers my eyes. For no injustice on my part, and for the purity of my prayer. Earth, do not cover my blood. Let there be no resting place for my outcry. Surely now my witness is in heaven. He who can testify for me is on high. O my advocates, my fellows, before God my eyes shed tears. Let him arbitrate between a man and God as between a man and his fellow. For a few more years will pass. "17. And I shall go the way of no return. My spirit is crushed, my days run out, the graveyard waits for me. Surely mocking men keep me company, and with their provocations I close my eyes. Come now, stand surety for me. Who will give his hand on my behalf? You have hidden understanding from their minds. Therefore, you must not exalt them. He informs on his friends for a share of their property, and his children's eyes pine away. He made me a byword among people. I have become like Tophet of old. My eyes fail from vexation. All shapes seem to me like shadows. The upright are amazed at this. The pure are aroused against the impious. The righteous man holds to his way. He whose hands are clean grows stronger. But all of you, come back now. I shall not find a wise man among you. My days are done, my tendons severed, the strings of my heart. They say that night is day, that light is here, in the face of darkness. If I must look forward to Sheol as my home, and make my bed in the dark place, say to the pit, you are my father. To the maggots, mother. Sister, where then is my hope? Who can see hope for me? Will it descend to Sheol? Shall we go down together to the dust? "18. Then Bildad, the Shuhite, said in reply, How long? Put an end to talk. Consider, and then we shall speak. Why are we thought of as brutes? Regarded by you as stupid. You who tear yourself to pieces in anger, will earth order be disrupted for your sake? Will rocks be dislodged from their place? Indeed, the light of the wicked fails. The flame of his fire does not shine. The light in his tent darkens. His lamp fails him. His iniquitous strides are hobbled. His schemes overthrow him. He is led by his feet into the net. He walks onto the toils. The trap seizes his heel. The noose tightens on him. The rope for him lies hidden on the ground, his snare on the path. Terrors assault him on all sides and send his feet flying. His progeny hunger. Disaster awaits his wife. The tendons under his skin are consumed. Death's firstborn consumes his tendons. He is torn from the safety of his tent. Terror marches him to the king. It lodges in his desolate tent. Sulphur is strewn upon his home. His roots below dry up, and above his branches wither. All mention of him vanishes from the earth. He has no name abroad. He is thrust from light to darkness, driven from the world. He has no seed or breed among his people, no survivor where he once lived. Generations to come will be appalled at his fate, as the previous ones are seized with horror. These are the haunts of the wicked. Here was the place of him who knew not God. Job said in reply, "How long will you grieve my spirit and crush me with words? Time and again you humiliate me and are not ashamed to abuse me. If indeed I have erred, my error remains with me, though you are overbearing toward me, reproaching me with my disgrace. Yet know that God has wronged me. He has thrown up siege works around me. I cry, violence, but am not answered. I shout, but can get no justice. He has barred my way. I cannot pass. He has laid darkness upon my path. He has stripped me of my glory, removed the crown from my head. He tears down every part of me. I perish. He uproots my hope like a tree. He kindles his anger against me. He regards me as one of his foes. His troops advance together. They build their road toward me and encamp around my tent. He alienated my kin from me. My acquaintances disown me. My relatives are gone. My friends have forgotten me. My dependents and maidservants regard me as a stranger. I am an outsider to them. I summon my servant, but he does not respond. I must myself entreat him. My odor is repulsive to my wife. I am loathsome to my children. Even youngsters disdain me. When I rise, they speak against me. All my bosom friends detest me. Those I love have turned against me. My bones stick to my skin and flesh. I escape with the skin of my teeth. Pity me. Pity me. You are my friends, for the hand of God has struck me. Why do you pursue me like God, maligning me insatiably? Oh, that my words were written down. Would they were inscribed in a record, incised on a rock forever with iron stylus and lead. But I know that my vindicator lives. In the end he will testify on earth. This after my skin will have been peeled off. But I would behold God while still in my flesh. I myself, not another, would behold him, would see with my own eyes. My heart pines within me. You say, how do we persecute him? The root of the matter is in him. Be in fear of the sword, for your fury is iniquity worthy of the sword. No, there is a judgment.